talk about the magic, the power in incremental savings. Savings, small incremental amounts to make yourself, to give you a future. Because all we're talking about is abundance. And there we have to start this now. Let's do this. The philosophy, micro wins. Okay. Tiny incremental savings isn't about finding $500 a month. It's about finding $1 a day. You see, it has to have low friction. It doesn't have to rock the boat. It's easier to commit to saving the cost of a 1 cup of coffee, which is not the same like 30 years ago, than it is committed to save a massive lifestyle overhaul. So one of the things I'm pushing you guys to do, all of you young people on TikTok and Instagram, the Gen Zs and the Xs and wherever you are, and right now you're finding it extremely exhausting to save some money. And maybe you're finding my energy this morning just crazy, but I have to bring it to you like this because you see, I know how slow those incremental steps are, but I also know the joy of getting to the destination of having financial independence, the choice to do things, to go places, the dreams. I know I see Pavali there. She likes to travel. I see you guys over there. You like going out to dinner. You cannot do it all when you're in your 20s and 30s and 40s, and then you're in the 40s with children. It's just not, but you can find the tiny bits to save. I have amazing success stories. I also have an amazing regret story about not hitting that little thing of saving a little bit of money at a time. You see, it is easier to commit to saving the cost of the coffee than to commit to a massive lifestyle overhaul. We won't do it. We've all been there, but where we say we're going to do something and it's going to be big and grand, and then we just fizzle away. We can't. The compound effect, guy, is what matters. Small savings, small amounts invested on or saved consistently benefit from time. I remembered while working with the bank, they would offer us 50 cents for every dollar we invested in the employee savings plan. So think about it. You could start with 1% of your pay. You out there working for a company that's offering you profit sharing, and because you do not like what you're doing, or you're angry, you're not getting the promotions that you are looking for, you're cutting your nose to spite your face. You are not jumping in and saying, you know what, I am here working already, I might well invest in this company. 1%. For every dollar you put, some companies offer you 25 cents. Hey! Before you start, you're making 25% on your dollar. Try doing that anywhere else. When TD Bank was offering us 50 cents on a dollar, I couldn't maximize it because there was a maximum of 10% of your pay. No way, Jose. There were mouths to feed and living expenses to pay for. So I started at 1%. 1%. But I took the step needed, and it was a psychological effect. Small amounts saved consistently benefit from time. The psychology, completing a tiny save every day, builds the identity of a saver, which is more important than the initial dollar amount. Once you start doing that, and you take advantage of your company's profit sharing, you're already giving them your sweat and brow and blood and everything else. You might as well invest in them since they're offering you 25 cents. Even if they offer you 10 cents, 5%, you cannot get that in the bank or in your investment company that much. But it's not a lot, but it's the foundation. It's the base. I am going to get you guys to rack your brains today. I'm going to get you to do something you have never done before. So make sure your calculator is working, because I am going to show you the magic and how it will affect you psychologically once you see it building. There are practical strategies for today. Yes, there are. If you are presenting or implementing this today, here are 3 actionable methods. Today is Thursday. A lot of people get paid on a Thursday. Every other Thursday, every Friday, every other Friday. The round-up method. Every time you spend money, round the transaction up to the nearest dollar and move the change to a separate account. Every little nook and cranny. You know something? You think that doesn't matter? You notice there was a time the bank was pushing this so that you can save. They would say, round it up, so you spend $5. Do you want 90 cents? Do you want the 10 cents or the 7 cents or the 3 cents to go over here? And many people said yes. And I've spoken to those who did, and then they found out they were doing more because they saw this little incremental growing thing, and they decided, I can do better than that. So the thing about it is that you should not only have one savings account. Nobody should. A savings account is not an upside down empty piggy bank. A saving account has a purpose, a destination, why you're doing this. The checking account is like a sieve. You might as well just put it underneath the tap and let the water run through the money, it disappears. Everything that comes in a checking account has to go somewhere else. If it stays there, it will disappear. So you see, that's why saving is essential. You need to look at your portfolio, your vision of yourself at your financial institution and say, okay, last year at this time, did I have any money? No, but today you have 100. That's a win for you. At least you know where your money is going. That's a win-win for you. So let's look at this example. You spend $4.25 on tea, right? They're not cheap. It's not the price of a cup of coffee. It's not 25 cents anymore. 75 cents goes into savings. You won't miss the 75 cents, but over 10 transactions, you will have $7.50. And I know it's not a lot, but those of you that have any idea of a plant, how it starts, we talk about the magnificent, the mighty oak tree without the acorn. The acorn is not even an inch long. And without that acorn, there is no oak tree. Without that dot that is made with your pen, there is no lettuce. Without that dot that is made with your pen, the size of that, there is no broccoli. It's a little dot that grows. You have to realize that. You have to have a daily ladder. Up one step, up the other step, and up the other step. Start with $1 on Monday, $2 on Tuesday, and so up to $7 on Sunday. Tessa-Marie, I can't afford that. So Monday, $1, Tuesday, $2, Wednesday, $3, Thursday, $4, and you go on until you have $7 on Sunday. That's like, I know you can't. I know this is challenging, and I know many people can, and I know there are also many people who can. And that is why it's important that you step up and do your best with savings for your future. Don't run away because I'm talking about savings and your bills are just drowning you. Take a break. Look at this and realize I can use one thing from there. I will get myself further than where I am today. Weekly total of $28. You are going to say to me, because it's incremental savings, Tessa-Marie, I can't afford $28 a week. It will amount to $112 a month. It will give you one $1,456 in a year. Listen to me. So that is the substitution of doing this properly. Now, I want you to back up. Put yourself into this position. Take your calculator out and let's do the math. Use a pen and paper. Get that. Those of you that are listening on TikTok and Instagram, those of you on TikTok don't have a lot of money and you really want a better life. You want a life better because you're saying, my parents never saved and today they're challenged. I want better than that. If you want better than that, get a pen and paper. Get your calculator. So remember we said $1 on Monday, $2, and every day you add $1 and up to Sunday, $28 a week. I know that's challenging. It's $112 a month in 4 weeks. Not everybody can do that. Not everybody gets paid weekly anyway. I know all of that. All of these obstacles, been there, done that, sat with my chewing on my pen and chewing on my pencil, trying to figure out how I could do this. Take that $28 and divide it by 2. You have 14. Take that 14 and divide it by 2. You have 7. Take the 7, divide it by 2. You have 350. So let's go back to the beginning. I said 28 a week, and you can't. I understand that, and in many cases, I know that when I'm talking to you, I accept it, I can see it. But if you say, I cannot save $14 a week, Tessa-Marie, I am here to tell you, split it again. $7, you cannot do that. Split it again, $3.50. And there you are. Split that $3.50 right now in 2. And there you will have $1.75. This is my 1969. Most of you wouldn't even thought of, much less for being born. Your parents were in high school. That was the beginning. That was my lettuce seed. That was my acorn. That was my broccoli seed. $1.75 every week. So if you get paid every 2 weeks. But it was worse than that for me. It started out with half of $1.75 every 2 weeks because we were getting paid every 2 weeks. So where are you on that? What are you thinking about now? That you can never do that? You'll never be able to do this? Start where you are. The thing is, if you are one of the fortunate few in these turbulent in financial times that we're challenged with, that you can actually do the 28, I'm promising you, if you start next year at this time, you will have 1,456. Now here comes the truth, and here comes the best part of this journey. Do not trust yourself to pay yourself. We're not very good at honoring the debt we owe ourselves, which is our savings. We're not too good at it. We don't have a good record. We could go to jail for how badly we manage this. But that is the one time you will get a financial institution to work for you for free. Ask them to set it up. Call them, walk in there bold, and do not let anybody's look in that bank put you down because, hey, I have news for you. They're not any better than you while they're sneering and making a remark about you coming to save 87 cents every Friday. Do it. Shoulders back, chest out, go bold, be me. And that's all. Yeah, that is all. I have a plan. That's what you have to say. 87 cents or whatever is half of this, I can't even remember anymore. And you put it in there. You put it in there. Get them to do it. And if they sneer or they laugh at you, then they're more stupid than air. They're not even absorbing it well. And when you have gotten them to take your 87 cents every Friday, that is your $1.75 showing up for you over there, or 80, whatever it's half of it. Help me, I might have messed up the math. But what I am saying is you must begin. Identifying one recurring micro luxury and swap it for a free alternate just twice a week. Instead of a $5 snack, drink a glass of lemon water. Move that $5 immediately into the blessings fund, into my financial abundance journey fund. They will do it automatically for you for free. Free. They will never charge you for transferring money from your checking account to your savings account. They need your $75. They have to have it. They cannot give your neighbor's son a mortgage without the money we deposit. They cannot give you a car loan or a line of credit money without you and I putting money. It's all our dollars get together that they use and they create this big thing that they hand million dollar mortgages. The bank does not print money. So they need every dollar we save so they can make money. That's the math. And they will do it for free. If we trust us to do this every week, it wouldn't be done. Unless you're anal about it, like me. Unless you're determined. But it's easier to have them work for you. So if you decide, every day I'm having a $8 latte or $10 latte, what about if I put one of, that is like, $70 a week? Think about it. Do you know that? Have you figured that out yet? Every latte is $10 and you have one every day. You're borderline diabetic because they're so sweet. Give one up. But in the process of giving one up, make sure you put that $10 somewhere else. Yuko said, my vacation account, best decision I ever made by listening to Tessa-Marie. I told her, create a vacation account. If you are employed and you can't find $10 a pay, $5 a pay to create a small vacation account, you need to consider, what are you doing with yourself? You're not worthy of going somewhere and having a vacation. Maybe at the beginning it won't be going to Timbuktu, but it could just be going out for dinner and knowing that that's paid for in full. She says, I feel happy to have money to see my mom because of vacation account. She flies from Canada to Hong Kong to go visit her mom because she created a vacation account. She can, as she said, when she puts the card in the machine in Hong Kong, in Tokyo, wherever she is, it's not Hong Kong, sorry. I made a Chinese, she's not, she's, Yuko, I'm so sorry. But the point of it, when she gets to Tokyo, when she gets to Japan, she can just put her card in the account and her stomach does not boil thinking there is no money there. When you have incremental savings, $28 a week is $1,456 in a year. But I'm asking you to go with less than that. I started with 87 cents every week. The old lady at the credit union, if her gray hair she didn't seem to, I don't know. I was too busy trying to eat my lunch while she was doing all this paperwork to notice if she was sneering at me. But let me tell you, your visual, when you go to do this, yes, there are going to be some ignorant people that do not know, are working for the bank or the financial institution, that an acorn gives the mighty oak. That a dot with a pen is what gives you a head of lettuce. That a dot with a pen is what gives you that bunch of broccoli. They don't see that. They don't know that. But sometimes when you show up, especially when you are young, when you're a person of color, when you do not have an identity that they think that is prosperous, and you show up, they can first see you and begin with an attitude. But when they switch to your portfolio, that is called sweet revenge. They look at, O'Neill, the guy I spoke about in my book, Controlling the Debt Monster, when I coached him, because my son Michael said you should help him, I brought O'Neill to the bank and I had the younger employees working with him to help him and to sort him out. And he had, when he came to see me, he did not have the 5 things I had wanted him to bring to me. What 5 things that you desire? He didn't come up with that. I sent him home. I said, no, I'm not talking to you. Go do what I asked you to do. He came back and he had them. I want to have my own barber shop. I want to have my own home. I want to go on vacation. And he had his little list. I can't remember all of them, but I have them written down. Guess what? It took time. He had bad credit. We had to fix it. He had loans at 20% with his people. But one day, a couple years later, a few years later, he got married. He had a home. He had his own business, a partnership. But he had written in his goal-setting journal, I want to own my own business. And what you write down must happen. Let it be written. Let it be done. His partner said to him, you know what, O'Neill, I do not really want to run this business. You take it over. It was a partnership. What is the answer there? He got what he wrote down. I want my own business. He bought the building. He had the renter. He bloomed. But one day he walked into the bank, the same bank that Gov Colin and I worked in. And some new person that he had never done his transaction before. And he's accustomed to the people, so he's coming if he's feeling good. And he goes, good morning, and she wouldn't answer him. He put his card in and he just, okay, that's a nice one. And then she did her thing and she goes, good morning. And shaking like a gingerbread man that is not fully baked yet. And he was amazed. I said, when he told me, he called me and explained the situation to me. I said, you know what, O'Neill, what happened there? She judged the book by the cover. You're a young black man, so, whatever. She has no time for you. There's no success in your future. You're a loser because of your color of your skin. And when she saw your portfolio, revenge, sweet revenge, she had to pull herself back. That is what incremental savings shows. He had